My friends, what is up? I feel like it's been forever. I took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off this weekend. I just need to spend a little time off of YouTube and hang out with the family, do some fun stuff. One thing did happen that I think is interesting because it ties back into a previous video I did that talks a lot about mindset and what you should do in difficult circumstances that are out of your control, right? The main concept of that was control your controllables and don't allow outside influences to affect your emotions if you don't need to. So this weekend I took my son to the carnival and did all the rides, did the food, got this like fried pork chop on a stick because obviously I'm a meathead, and we had a really good time, to be honest. We went with another friend of mine and his family who actually just also happens to be in Drip as well, and we had a great time together. When we left, I went out to my car, had that little sticky note on there, and it basically just said, "I'm sorry, please contact us for insurance information." As you can imagine, somebody backed up and ran into my car, dented up, the whole side of it, both doors on the passenger side. Super frustrating. I'm super busy guy, so I really don't have time to take my car in, mess around with the insurance adjuster, take it in, get a rental car, let it spend a week in the body shop while they get it all fixed up and get it back to me. So I easily could have got mad at the lady, called her and yelled at her, told her how angry I was. But everyone makes mistakes. I mean, was it within my control to go back in time and actually fix the fact that she ran into my car? The answer to that, of course, is no. So then I just needed to figure out how I was going to handle it. Very simple. I told her, "I'm glad you left a note. Appreciate that. Send me your insurance information. And on Monday, we'll get in contact with them and get this all sorted out." So the good thing is insurance will cover everything. It'll just be an inconvenience for my time. The bad thing is it'll take a little time and it'll show a wreck on the report for my car. Luckily, it wasn't my Ferrari. It was just my SUV. So I don't have to worry about it really reducing the value of my car. And for the record, I do not have a Ferrari. Anyway, just a simple recap and lesson on mindset. Don't allow changes in circumstances to affect your emotions in a negative way. You just got to deal with things as they are. Events themselves are not positive or negative. How you approach them is what gives them context. Anyway, let's move on. I've been trying to do videos that are a little more specific on certain topics because I know a lot of guys that are in the animal farm aren't in Drip. A lot of people that Drip aren't in the Drip garden. So I've been trying to do my best to segment those out a little bit separately. Some videos I'll do where I'll just slap everything together because obviously the ecosystem in all of its elements affect each other. So one update over here to Drip could affect animal farm. Anything that happens with Drip could affect the Drip garden. So since all that information is relevant, I will share it, but I'll try to keep my updates, just like my general updates on stuff, separate. So you don't have to watch a 30-minute video. You can watch like a 10-minute video like this one. So last week we got a little bit of news from Forex. Let me throw it up on the screen here. And again, some of this has to do with Drip, some of it has to do with Animal Farm, but I'll read the major parts off. So just got out of a meeting with Scratchy that went great. We'll have a loose roadmap with dates in the next week so we can get an idea of when that will be progressing. So scratch off tickets, obviously we really want those. That'll definitely help the Drip price. That's important. The new MasterChef contracts will be finished by the end of the week. So this was at the very end of last week. By Saturday, so a couple of days ago, we will have the contracts created for the new Dogs game. And I will be spending the weekend crunching the numbers to get all the game theory and tokenomics dialed in. So at first, I was a little frustrated by this. Like, I like the game. I think it's a great idea. But to me, the Dogs game means nothing unless dogs are live, right? I want the full Animal Farm functional, and then we can go down the road and do the games. But it sounds like once we go live with the dogs, if we haven't made those contractual changes, then we might not be able to make them at all. So in the short term, it's frustrating because I want the Animal Farm live, and I want it live right now. I'm impatient, and I don't want to wait another 2 or 3 weeks while they come out with this. But in the long run, having that game burning those dogs tokens is way more bullish for the price and longevity of that token. So I think I just need to tell myself to be a little more patient here and allow them to get that done, because in the long run, I think it will be helpful. So I fully expect, I think the dog migration is over. So if you haven't migrated your dogs, you may be out of luck. If you're watching this and you haven't done it, go do it right now, because you don't want to miss out because you were complacent. At this point, you've already procrastinated, so try to squeeze it in. They may have already shut that down. You had a couple of weeks, so there's plenty of time for you to do that. If you didn't do it and you go there and you're not able to migrate any of those over to V2, take accountability for it. That is your fault. So if on Saturday they finish creating the contracts for the new Dogs game, then Dogs should go live this week. Forex really likes to hang with that Tuesday, Thursday time frame when he makes announcements. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something tomorrow, and then hopefully Dogs will go live on Thursday. It's my personal opinion that we should drift away from the cadence we've been following for a little while. I get what Forex has been doing, where he likes to kind of announce that something's going to come out and then give a week of marketing where he's just doing AMAs and everybody gets pumped about it. I think at this point, everyone's been waiting on pins and needles for stuff to get launched. Everybody's sitting and waiting for it. I'd love to have it be an announcement tomorrow that said dogs are live Thursday, full farms are alive the following Tuesday. Right? I just think he needs to start dropping this stuff on us. So hopefully he watches this video and takes my advice. He goes on to say, yesterday I had a follow-up interview with several major marketing firms. One of them led a major crypto news site that everyone would know about, the biggest in the world on the left to start their own marketing firm. So that's cool. They provided marketing service for top 20 crypto projects, and I'm in the process of interviewing them to potentially bring them on as a CMO. So they would basically be our chief marketing officer in a way, and that could be really helpful. We need real deal marketing, I think, at this point, especially since we're in the middle of this bear market. We can't lean into the marketing of a good chart. You know, our chart's terrible. We've got so much stuff upcoming in the roadmap, but we're so bogged down by, I don't know, trying to get through all this stuff, and we don't want to have too many cooks in the kitchen, meaning you don't want to hire 30 developers and pay all those guys to get the stuff done faster. So there is a balancing act there, and we just need to be cognizant of that. So he says it would be their job to ensure we are using our marketing budget as efficiently as possible, put their agents on the job, ensuring we get maximal exposure on as many platforms as possible, fielding marketing opportunities and making connections for us with promoters, including YouTubers, social media influencers, etc. They would be managing marketing for our whole ecosystem, and I would be giving them my vision on where I think our resources would be best allocated. I'm doing so much work behind the scenes. So that makes me feel good. I really do think Forex is working. I think a lot of things have come to light recently. The fact that Forex is just announced that he has hired a project manager to keep the flow of these going. If any of you guys have been in any legit world, especially with just say like software development, anything in the technology space, anything in the construction space, you've got to have a project manager, because when you're working on a team, you got, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 different people that are experts in their field. One of them does this, one of them does that, but they don't cross over, right? So how the heck is Tom supposed to know that Gerald needs a 4-week time frame for the turnaround when Tom only needs 2? So he's creating stuff with the expectation that it's gonna be done with 2 weeks and then giving timelines out. It's impossible. You have to set stuff out on a Gantt chart, and maybe on the next video or something, I'll bring up what a Gantt chart is to show you what those time frames are. But that's a project manager's job. He takes all the pieces of the puzzle, figures out how much time everything's gonna take, and then make sure you're on track for that release date. Right now, we're never on track for release dates. So the fact that we are constantly late on all these releases and these projects doesn't surprise me one bit, because if you don't have a project manager to drive a specific timeline, then it's impossible. Forex is a developer. He likes to be involved in the marketing. He's not a marketer. That's why he should hire a third-party marketer. He's not a project manager. He's a visionary and developer, and he reminds me of a lot of like kooky CEOs. They're the visionary. They've got the ideas. They like to get into the nuts and bolts of certain pieces, but they've got some gaps, just like everybody does. So you got to hire people to fill those gaps in below you. Marketing, project management, all that type of stuff. So he's filling in those holes. I wish we would have started this 6 months ago, like we should have. But you never know. I mean, this is DeFi. This is like I said a bunch of times, this is like a startup company. This is not a well-oiled machine yet. We've been around for like 14 months, and we've just hit a point, especially in a bear market, where a lot of changes need to be made to be able to keep up with the requirements of really putting together a very sustainable project. So to me, this is all really good news. I think the only thing they need to do is set some specific timelines and start to push this stuff out. Quit messing around. I think it's go time. We've done a pretty good job, or I guess he's done a pretty good job of shaking out weak hands. Forex loves to shake out weak hands, and we got a lot of weak hands out. So hopefully he feels like it's time to give some of us OGs a little bit of juice by throwing out some positive updates for us. So anyway, I like that update. I expect to hear something tomorrow. Hopefully dogs go live this week, and then the farms next week. Once that's done, the ecosystem will be rocking, and there will be something to promote. You can't go out, to me right now, you can't go out. We've had enough AMAs. We know exactly what the roadmap is. We know what's coming out. What we don't know is exact timelines, and there's no point in promoting something that doesn't exist. At this point, we got to get the farms live and then hit it hard. Check out what this does very well so people can go to it and get a full functioning system. We've been giving people way too much DeFi foreplay by talking for the last couple months about what it's going to do. We need to show them what it does. So that's just my personal opinion. Don't take any of this stuff as financial advice. I try to say that at least once every video, just some idiot doesn't try to sue me because they bought pigs and were unhappy with the price action or whatever. Anyway, I think most of my viewers aren't those people. I think 99% of my viewers are awesome. They get it. They like these updates. And the other 1% of viewers are just haters who like to spread, crappy comments in there, but they're all pretty sad about life. I don't mind the comments at all that are kind of critical, because obviously there's plenty to be critical about. And there's certain questions about the mechanics and certain things. Obviously I'm critical sometimes, but that's just the game. If you're positive and critical about stuff and you want to have a back and forth conversation, I'm happy. If you want to spread a bunch of hate, then probably gonna get banned. Anyhow, on to my piggy bank. I refreshed this a while ago, so my totals aren't too high. I've got most of this stuff here is expiring. I've got some of my longer term stakes, which is what I started first. This one's not time locked. This one ends in a couple days. This one ends in a couple days. This one in 4 days. So all these bottom ones right here, what's that, 5? So I'll have 5 in a couple days, 4 days to be exact. I'll have 5 untime locked stakes. What I want to do is combine those. I didn't want that many of these to begin with. The problem for me is, and please let me know if you figure out a way to do this. Obviously I can't do anything with this one because it's locked up for my last compound. But even when it isn't, I come down here to go to deposit, right? I want to add something to it. I go to do that. It tells me the transaction is confirmed, but it never goes through. So I've been trying it periodically every few days, and I knew it wasn't working, so I figured it was a fix that was upcoming. And it sounds like in the Telegram groups, a couple of people have brought it up. So hopefully they know it's an issue and they're trying to fix it. The only reason I'm bringing it up right now is because I watched Stunna Breezy's video from a few days ago, and I watched him do it. So for him, he was able to go in, click deposit, and add more to it, and I saw his stake increase. So hopefully there's just some weird way I'm doing something wrong. I've done everything. I've cleared the cache. I've reset my MetaMask. I tried whole numbers because I noticed I was doing odd numbers all the time, trying to add it back in, and I noticed Stunna did a 50 LPs exactly that he put back into the system. So I thought, okay, maybe it's a whole number thing, but that didn't work either. So if you are one of the people who has been able to deposit into an unlocked time stake, please let me know how you did it, or if there's some sort of trick to it, because I have not been able to do it. But I'm just letting these build up, compounding them once a day as close as I can to 24 hours. My pig pen's still small, just got a couple in there right here. Got a whole $1.80 in BUSD I could claim. I have, however, been having a bunch of additional people join the team, so thank you all for referring. I'll put the link in the description. It doesn't hurt you anything. If you're getting to the animal farm, if you click on my referral code to get there, it'll just give me like a small 2% bonus. What I'm doing is I'm sending most of that back to you guys, so it's just a little bump for you. Those referral bonuses are going to go somewhere. So by joining a team that gives you something back, like me, or there's other people out there that are doing it too, right? By joining a team that gives you something back, you're actually gaining more than if you got directly into the piggy bank and don't use a referral link. So it just makes sense. So I appreciate all you guys who have been joining. Like I said in a previous video, I use this tool, this DripFi tool. Obviously used it a bunch for drip, but I'm now using it to help me out with the piggy bank. And every week I'm doing a couple of big LP airdrops, right? I'm airdropping piglets. First week I did these couple people. Second week I did these 2 people. And this week I think I did these 3. So I'm this far down the line. So if your wallet address was in that list, you should see like a small untime lock stake. The frustrating part is when you've got something small like this, like this guy, he just put in a little stake here for 12 weeks. There's pretty much no bonus that comes over when you get that, right? It's really minimal. So it's hard to airdrop like a time locked or even untime locked piggy bank stake, because it's not generating enough money to really cover the gas fees in the piggy bank. So there's a couple different ways to handle it. I can continue to gift piglets out in the system the normal way, right? Where was it? Up here, you go to gift piglets. I put the amount in I want to send and then your wallet address, and then I can change the time lock, but I've just been doing them. Most of them are small enough that I do 0 weeks, because I don't want you to have to compound it to get your money out, because you'll eat up more gas fees compounding it if it's not generating enough money there for you. So I've been debating about doing a few different things. I've seen other people do it too. They give away drip tokens instead. So you get drip, you can put into your faucet instead of pigs that you can put in your piggy bank. I'm happy to do that. If you guys reach out to me, we can work something out different if you'd rather have drip in your faucet, or I can continue doing what I'm doing and send you time lock stakes. Or my third option is I was thinking about just sending you pigs LP, the amount of pigs LP I would be time locking for you, or even just putting in a stake for you that you could then go add to a stake or deposit or whatever you need to do. My only hesitation with doing that is if I send it to you that way, it's easier for you just to take out and drain the system. It's your money, but I'd like to incentivize good behavior. So I'm a little hesitant to do that, but I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say. So let me know in the comments. And like I said, you top 6 or 7 people. I've been dishing these out every week. I haven't been doing them on camera. They're not that exciting. I did a couple of them on camera, but know that those are in there and waiting for you when you are ready. So that's it for the animal farm updates. I fully expect dogs to be live this week. I really hope that they are. And I'm really hoping we're live on the animal farm at least by next Thursday. Once we get this ecosystem up and running, it'll put a lot of things to bed, and I think you're going to see some of these prices come back up. I don't know what dogs is going to launch at, maybe 45. You got pigs down to 110, so reasonable buying opportunity here. I think we could still leak a little bit. I mean, we might see the 90s. I don't know that for sure. It really just depends on how soon the animal farm gets open. When the animal farm's open, there's a much bigger incentive to hold pigs, to hold dogs, to move those LPs around and do transactions, which will help everything in the pig pen get paid out at a higher rate. So that is the next step, in my opinion. We have to get the animal farm live and then move on to all these other pieces. The games are cool, scratchies are cool, all that stuff's cool. We can't put the cart before the horse. We've got to get the animal farm live right away and then move on to those next pieces in the coming weeks. So anyway, that's the update. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Happy investing.